We are back. It's another session of It's
Miller Time.
Hi, I'm Wendi Miller, real estate agent with, actually I like to say real estate consultant with Keller Williams Jacksonville Realty. And this is my Miller counterpart, John Miller, a real estate attorney, also handles title work for all of your closings here in Jacksonville. Just awesome man to work with. So we are here back for our next portability session. And why don't you recap where we left off, and
Sure.
then we can explain the benefit of that portability to them.
Absolutely. And it really, if you didn't hear the previous session, it makes a lot of sense to go ahead and pick that up. It is a somewhat complex subject, but we're trying to make it as crystal clear as we can. We established last time that the Save Our Homes Amendment came to Florida in 1995, and it protects Florida homestead owners from taxes going up more than 3%, the value of their home going up more than 3% every year, and so that the assessed taxes will not go sky high. For instance, with people that are aging in a home that's become of much greater value. So we want our home owners to benefit from the amount that their house increases in value, but we want our taxes to remain the same. So we were talking about the Save Our Homes Amendment last time, which is that 3% cap, if you'll think of it that way. And the thing that I want to communicate to you now is no matter how many homes you own in Florida, sequentially, you can move that assessed tax value from home to home to benefit you throughout your life. So if you sell one home in Florida, move to a new home in Florida, you will definitely want to consult with an expert and make sure that you get the proper credit so you don't pay more taxes every year than you have to be. This term is called portability, and it refers to the ability of an owner of a Florida homestead to transfer some or all of the Save Our Homes benefit from a previous homestead to a newly established homestead. Now, that law was established by another constitutional amendment in Florida, which happened in January of 2008. So as a little bit of I guess this is a succinct statement of it, that Save Our Homes benefit, that 3% cap on value increase for tax purposes, or we like to call it a portability benefit amount. Got that portability benefit.
Portability benefit.
Yep.
So what exactly does that mean? So, put that in, I guess, into layman's terms.
Sure. It's the difference between the assessed value and the market value of a homestead property due to the annual limit on the increases of the assessed value.
Okay.
Right? So the assessed value is going to be established by the just value, which is what your county property appraiser is going to call the value. Thank you.
Oops, sorry, telephone. Telephone fail. I gotta put money in the charity jar. Okay.
I thought it was
Canines
applause.
for Warriors. I owe you some money for that.
Charity. So your property appraiser is going to determine the just value when you
Okay.
bought the house, and you can contest that if you need to.
Right.
But then over the years, you're going to have this 3% cap. But imagine the cap's moving like this, but the value of a home in Florida may move like that.
Right.
So think of it as being this gap.
Right.
It is the it is the difference between that assessed value and what the true value of your home or the market value of your home becomes.
So can we put that into numbers? Can we do that? Is that just so they can kind of understand what that means?
Yes.
Like, how do you transfer that? What is that? How does that save you money on your taxes? How does that port? What ports over exactly?
Right. So say I'm going to use really easy numbers.
Yes.
A house was bought for $100,000. And so each year the taxes could only go up on a value of $3,000 more, right? So 103, 106, a little and change,
Right,
which is 3% of the new number.
Right.
But the actual value of the house goes up to $200,000
Right.
over time. So maybe let's just guess it went up to 120 assessed value. That $80,000
Okay.
is now going, with proper application, to go with that homeowner from the one home to the next.
Okay.
All right. And in the third segment, I'm going to go over the examples of upsizing. Do fries go with that shake?
Right.
Or downsizing, right?
Right.
And they're
Are
different.
you only getting the shake?
Yeah, right. But it's a shake up, not a shake down.
Exactly.
So it's the accumulated difference between your assessed value or the just market value is referred to as Save Our Homes benefit or savings.
Okay, so you take that $80,000, you now buy a new home.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say you sold your home for $200,000. You've got that $80,000 difference. Now we're purchasing a new home.
How much you want it to be worth?
Let's say $300,000.
Okay, so
you'll take that. Enough numbers?
Yes, thank you. You'll take that $300,000 and subtract the $80,000 difference, and so the assessed value of the new home, which would have been $300, will only be $220.
Wow, that is huge.
It's a big deal.
That is a really big deal, especially here in Florida when you're talking that prices can really move up with the type of properties that we have. Waterfront, riverfront, oceanfront, preserves, marsh, things like that. So huge benefits. So because when you purchase a new home, right, your real estate taxes are going to change from the previous year because it was owned by somebody who'd been living in that house for, let's say, 10 years, and their taxes by constitutional law could only increase X amount, correct? So now when the sale of that property, it will trigger the property appraiser now to come out and reassess that value, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't have an income tax in Florida, so we are very strong on real estate taxes to keep our Florida government afloat. So they're very on this. So we as citizens, we need to be on it as well so that people don't pay more than their fair share. Right. So you'll want to make sure that you're given the fair amount ported over to the new purchase every time. And that's a tricky part of the process, but so important because it's what sticks for as long as you own that home.
Wow.
So I think that's probably a really good spot for us to jump off, because in the next section, we're going to talk about the actual amount, the maximum amount that can be ported to the new house, and how that's determined if you are, say, an empty nester downsizing, or somebody that's on their way up that's buying the bigger house. Maybe they need it for new kids, or maybe they've just made some money and they want that ocean front, canal front, whatever type house. So it goes both ways.
And so that tells me that there's some little caveats in there that you got to watch out for. You're not necessarily always going to get 100%.
That's right.
Of it. Okay. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us again at Miller Time. Have a very blessed week.